What makes a coin valuable? This is by far the most common question I am asked as a coin expert. And that's quite normal, because when you search through the internet, you soon become confused when you see that the price of a collector coin can go in all directions. Why do some collector coins sell for as little as 10 US dollar when at the same time other examples can reach prices from many hundreds or even millions of dollars? In order to provide you with more clarity, let me show you in this video the 11 characteristics that make a coin or a medal valuable. And I can already tell you one thing: the age of a coin is not one of them. My name is Jonas, and I've been a Swiss professional numismatist, auctioneer, and coin dealer for more than 15 years. And my goal is to help astute collectors to build their serious collection and to avoid the costly mistakes they may encounter during their numismatic journey. So, without any further ado, let's just dive in. Characteristic number 1, authenticity. Is my coin genuine? This is the very first question you should ask yourself when it comes to the value of a coin. The reason is quite simple. Even 2,600 years ago, as the first coins were minted, there were already coin counterfeiters. Don't forget, anything that has a value, and especially if it has been used as a mean of payment, has the potential of being counterfeited. When we speak about a forgery, we usually think about a modern counterfeit or a copy of an old coin made in modern time to deceive a coin collector or coin dealers. But there are numerous additional types of forgeries. You have, for example, historical forgeries. That means forgeries going back to the time of the production of the original piece. Modern collectors' productions or modern replicas that are sold in museums and are stamped with a visible hallmark, and even official modern restrikes. In other words, recent copies of older coin types, but minted by an official state mint and recognizable by the presence of a current date on it. Characteristic number 2, condition. Coins were minted to serve as a mean of payment. In practical terms, this means to be exchanged from hands to hands. However, this duty of the coins as a mean of payment has left traces on them, and these traces are called traces of circulation. The term condition refers therefore to how close the actual state of a coin is compared to its condition when it was produced 200 or thousands of years ago. The following basic rule applies to condition. The fewer traces of circulation a coin shows, in other words, the shorter a coin has been in circulation, the greater its potential collector's value. And if the coin has never been in circulation, that's even better, because condition can dramatically affect the value of a coin. For example, damages like scratches or edge knocks can easily halve the value of a coin, or even worse than that. But the opposite is also true for perfectly preserved, uncirculated coins, known in the trade as fleurs de coin, that show no signs of circulation. They can be up to 1,000 times more valuable than the same coin type with traces of circulation. Characteristic number 3, rarity. The value of a collector coin depends also on its rarity. To put it in another way, the price of coins depends on the well-known rule of supply and demand. If supply is lower than demand, the value rises. If supply is higher than demand, the value falls. In numismatics, when we speak about rarity, we usually mean to speak about the mintage. This means the number of coins minted for a particular year. The following basic rule then applies. The lower the mintage, the higher the potential collector's value. However, The mintages are usually only known for modern coins that were minted somewhere after the beginning of the 19th century, when the mints started to keep precise records of their mintage figures. For older coins, or coins from the Middle Ages, rarity has somehow another meaning. As no mintage figures are available, rarity is measured differently, namely by how often or how rarely a coin type appears on the market. However, in this case, only a good knowledge of the market and of its development can help to judge how rare a coin type really is. Characteristic number 4, quality. Quality is also an important characteristic when it comes to value. A coin is a product of a manufacturing process. Therefore, the quality of the production is meant here and not the quality of conservation. Has the coin been properly and carefully minted, or are there any minting flaws? In the case of ancient coins, quality is also defined as style or artistic merit. Some die cutters were not only craftsmen, but very talented artists that even signed their work. The quality of a coin can also be recognized by the precision of the engraving and the details of the design. If the quality of a coin or a medal generates a wow effect by the connoisseur, then its value is no longer based on the usual market price, but can reach an unpredictable collector's price, which can easily represent 10 times the usual market price. Characteristic number 5, historical importance. Coins and medals are fascinating witnesses to the past, and coin collectors are often history lovers. Therefore, it comes as no surprise that coins of historical importance are also popular and sought after. Especially valuable are therefore those minted by famous historical figures like Julius Caesar, Alexander the Great, or even Cleopatra. Also valuable are the coins that are considered the first issues of a specific coin type, like the first louis d'or, the first ducat, or even the first ever minted coin. Other popular coins are also, for example, those mentioned in the Bible. Medals mostly commemorate important historical events. If the events are of national or international significance, the value of a medal can increase significantly. Characteristic number 6, provenance. A provenance establishes the history of a coin as a collector's item. In other words, a provenance records in which collection or in which ownership a coin has always been in the past. Until now, a provenance had a major impact on value if the coin was once part of a famous coin collection or was illustrated in an important reference work or even exhibited during an important exhibition. In recent years, provenance has also become increasingly important for legal matters. As a result of new and stricter laws on cultural properties, coin dealers, museums, institutions, and coin collectors are called upon, or sometimes in some countries even obliged, to be able to prove the provenance of a coin. These legal requirements apply generally to ancient coins, but even sometimes to coins struck before 1500. As an example, a Greek coin with a documented provenance can be twice as expensive than a coin of the same type without provenance. Characteristic number 7, diameter or size. Coins are usually small, and you need a magnifying glass to really discover its full design, making them less representative than a painting or a sculpture. This is why, in many cases, a large coin is more valuable than a small one. A good example of that are the ducats and multiple ducats of the Holy Roman Empire. A 10 ducats piece is not only 10 times more valuable than a 1 ducat, but it can be up to 100 times more expensive. The increase in value can therefore be compared to the price structure of diamonds. This rule also applies to ancient coins. The largest coins of antiquity repeatedly achieve record prices at auction. With medals, it is also the case that larger medals, especially if they are minted in gold and silver, are more valuable than small ones. This is because the mintage for large medals were usually lower than the ones for small medals. In addition, the technical requirements for the striking of large medals were usually much higher than for small ones. This is why large medals were also produced less frequently. Characteristic number 8. Material. As a metal, gold is obviously more valuable than silver or bronze. However, this doesn't mean that a gold coin is always more valuable than a silver one. This is because a collector's coin has usually a value that is much higher than its sole intrinsic value. However, the material can play a role as a further rarity factor. In the case of metals, the mintage in precious metals were usually much lower than the ones for bronze or copper. Another example of the impact of material on the value of a coin is illustrated by current coins minted in gold for special occasions, also known as gold patterns. These gold patterns are very rare and sought after. Characteristic number 9. Workmanship. Workmanship refers to the quality of the technique used for the production of a coin or a medal. In the case of coins, for example, sometimes special issues were produced from carefully polished dies and planchets. In this case, the term proof is used. These proof specimens can sometimes reach 5 to 10 times the price of a regular coin from the same type. In the case of medals, there is a difference of craftsmanship between cast and struck medals. In today's market, struck medals usually achieve better prices than cast ones. This is because luster, high relief, and fine details cannot be achieved in the casting process. Characteristic number 10. Design. The design on a coin has also an impact on its value. As with many other collectibles, attractive depictions are always very popular. This can be beautiful female depiction like a naked Aphrodite or appealing busts and portraits, as well as depiction of plants and animal, and recently, especially city views are high in demand. Characteristic number 11. Trends. As it is the case with fashion, there are always trends in the coin market that can have a significant impact on the price of coins. For example, Japanese and Chinese collectors who highly value high quality are currently increasing the value of uncirculated coins. Special exhibitions or commemorative events such as the 200th anniversary of the French Revolution or the 7th anniversary of the Swiss Confederation in 1991, can also influence the coin market and especially the price of the coins associated to these events. Films like the Hollywood blockbuster Gladiator can also trigger new trends. However, it is very important to note that in a case of a trend, the price can rise very quickly, but unfortunately decline even quicker. So be careful when you follow the trends. So you are now aware of the 11 characteristics that can make a coin valuable. But before I let you go back to your coin, I would like to recap them now. Characteristic number 1. Authenticity. Is the coin genuine? Characteristic number 2. Condition. How long has the coin been in circulation? Characteristic number 3. Rarity. How many specimens of the coin were minted or are available on the market? Characteristic number 4. Quality. Has the coin been produced with high quality production standards? Characteristic number 5. Historical importance. Has the coin been issued by a famous historical figure? Characteristic number 6. Provenance. Is the history of ownership of the coin known and published? Characteristic number 7. Diameter or size. Can the beauty of the coin be admired without a magnifying glass? Characteristic number 8. Material. What is the material content of the coin? Characteristic number 9. Workmanship. Has the coin been produced with highly polished planchets or dies? Characteristic number 10. Design. Does the coin bear a design of great beauty? Characteristic number 11. Trends. Does the coin respond to actual trends in the coin market? So I would like to know if these characteristics apply to your coins. Let me know in the comment if it is the case. And if you would like me to produce a video on a specific characteristic from that list, just let me know as well. Assessing the value of a collector's coin is a complex matter, and it takes a lot of experience to correctly estimate the value of a coin. Therefore, if you need the assistance of a numismatic advisor, please do not hesitate to contact me. Finally, if you find this video interesting, I would be very pleased if you subscribe to this channel or hit the like button. Thank you in advance for your support. I look forward to your emails and comments and wish you a lot of good time with your coins. See you again soon, and my best regards from Switzerland. Goodbye.